Lesson 3, Physical Quantities and Measurement, Part 2, Physics for Class 6. Now some questions. Let us try to answer them. How long do you take to get ready for school? Another question. For how long is your lunch break? Another one. When does the school bell ring in the morning? I think most of you must have forgotten due to the lockdown. When does the second period start? What time did you wake up today? Now that you'll know very well. Another one. How long does your PT period last? Now, to answer these questions, you need to measure time. Now the question is, what is time? Time is defined as the interval between two events. We measure time with the help of mean solar day. What is a mean solar day? A mean solar day is the time taken by the Earth to complete one rotation about its own axis. Next we come to units of time. The standard unit of time in SI system is second. The bigger units of time are minute, hour, day, month and year. Now some commonly used units of time and their symbols are given below. You see, for second we use a small s, for minute we use min, and for hour h. The symbols are all in small alphabets. Next, let us come to the relation between the units of time. You know that 1 minute is 60 seconds, and you also know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So 60 into 60 seconds is 3600 seconds. 1 mean solar day is 24 hours. That is 24 into 3600 seconds. That is 86,400 seconds. Again, 1 year is 365 1 by 4th day. That is 1461 divided by 4 into 86400 seconds. That becomes 31557600 seconds. Next we come to instruments used to measure time. Earlier, people estimated time by looking at sun and the moon. The Jantar Mantar in Jaipur and Delhi are examples of sundials. These were built by Maharaja Jai Singh II of Jaipur. Below you can see a picture in which you can see Jantar Mantar at Jaipur. Later on, time was measured by water clock, candle clock and sand clock. You can see the pictures of the three types of clocks. Then clocks based on the principle of the pendulum were used, and these were more accurate than before. And nowadays we use electronic or digital watches and clocks which are very accurate. We also use stopwatches in sports and laboratories to record the interval of time very accurately. Now we come to 12-hour and 24-hour clock. First, a 12-hour clock, that is the commonly used convention. In this convention, the day is divided into two periods. First, ante-meridiem, that is before midday. Second, post-meridiem, that is after midday. Here it is mandatory to mention AM or PM. For example, 8:30 AM means morning, while 8:30 PM means evening. Next is a 24-hour clock. We don't have to mention here AM or PM. The time interval after midnight to 12 noon is recorded as 0000 to 1200 hours. For example, if departure of a train is 0650 hours, it means 6:50 AM. But suppose the departure was 6:50 PM instead of AM, in that case it would have been 1850 hours in the 24-hour clock. Now to convert 12-hour format to 24-hour format, add 1200 to the post midday value or to the PM value. Like here we have added 1200 plus 650 PM, and that is giving 1850 hours. Also to convert from 24-hour format to 12-hour format, subtract 1200 if the value is greater than 1200 hours. Example. Now example. First, 1200 hours, that is in the 24-hour format, you directly write as 12 PM. Here you don't have to subtract. Second example, 1300 hours, that is also in 24-hour format. Here you'll have to subtract and it becomes 1 PM. Third, 0000 hours in the 24-hour format. Now here you have to be careful. Instead of taking 0000, you take it as 2400 hours and subtract 1200. But add AM. So it becomes 12 AM. Next, 0100 hour in the 24-hour format. Here also you don't have to subtract. It is directly 1 AM. Now we see a atomic clock. Atomic clocks are the latest, most precise time measuring device. Now below you can see the picture of a laptop atomic clock. You can see the cost in dollar and rupees. That is the latest one. And next we come to measurement of temperature. Temperature is a degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Now units of temperature. The standard unit of temperature in SI system is Kelvin. However, the commonly used units are degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Below you can see the symbols used. You can see in case of Kelvin we are not using the degree sign and all the symbols are in capital. Now we come to instruments to measure temperature. First is a laboratory thermometer that is used in the lab, usually marked from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. And here, if you see the diagram, 0 degrees Celsius, which is the melting point of ice, is called lower fixed point, and 100 degrees Celsius, which is the boiling point of water, is called the upper fixed point. The second one, clinical thermometers. The first category is mercury clinical thermometer. It is usually marked from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit, 95 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. The normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. That is why the range is kept less here, from 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. It has a constriction in its neck. The reason, when the temperature of the patient is measured and the thermometer is taken out of the mouth of the patient, the mercury level should not drop down and the doctor should be able to get an accurate reading. Second is a digital clinical thermometer. Now this is used nowadays. It works on electrical energy from electrical cells, very small in size like buttons, the cells which are used in watches nowadays. Now, that is all for today. Do the question answer in your book. And goodbye and take care. Where you have a doubt, you consult me. Thank you.